Anyway, here's David's apology.
Hi guys, it's 1:45 in the morning, and I'm finally by myself. Which I know doesn't sound that crazy to be by yourself at 1:45 in the morning, but this week's been pretty hectic, and there have been a lot of people around telling me what to do, giving me advice, trying to help me, most importantly, and that was a lot, and now I just want to be able to do that, just shoot straight into the camera and just talk to you guys. I've put myself in a lot of situations where I've needed to
cut.
It was a jump cut.
Oh, well, okay.
Like, how many times did you do that? It was only like a minute. Like, how do you need to cut after a minute? Like, why can't people just do a whole talk through? Like,
well, Trisha, to be fair, I don't know, because you will do like a 30-minute video that should be cut to 10 minutes. So I'm not sure you're ambassador.
I think he has 30 minutes worth of apologizing to do to people in his vlogs. I think there was more than enough footage to go with. This was very subpar, but okay.
Apologize for my past actions, and I've never done this correctly, and I've never done this respectfully, and my last video is a testament to that. I don't want to defend that video. I don't want to delete that video. I just want to be clear. What this video isn't going to be is it's not going to be me.
So he's characterized in the last video as just like, oh, it was just a shitty apology that I just didn't know better, but like that was a way of, he was attempting to avoid being totally canceled by trying to, you know, put all the blame on Dom and like evade it all himself. So I don't know that it's totally honest to characterize it as just a bad apology.
Ziggy probably was like, okay, just like put out an apology and we'll see how it goes, because they were like on the fence with it, and then when it didn't work out, they're like, we gotta not do this. I'm very like, you know what? I'm glad that sponsors are hearing this, you know, because these are big brands and big companies, and like you really want to be associated with that. What about Chipotle? Did they ever make a statement they're sponsoring James Charles and David Dobrik?
Chipotle's, they're the spring chicken burrito. They don't give a shit.
No, I think didn't I send you something about Chipotle?
Oh, did Chipotle actually drop David?
I think they did.
I think they did.
Be discrediting Trisha, Kat, or any other woman involved.
He said your name.
When you texted me that, I was like, oh, let me hear what he has to say. And then that was it. I was like, okay,
Well,
thank you for...
He still said your name.
This has nothing to even do with me. I'm like, okay. Yeah, well, thank you, David Dobrik, for acknowledging my existence. This is what I've been waiting for my whole 2 years.
All right, let's try to get
I'm going
into
to be using words that may trigger some survivors, and that's just so I don't explain anything vaguely, and I can explain every situation appropriately. I want to start this video off by saying I fully believe the woman who came out against Dom and said she was...
I know, because I was there.
And I filmed it, and she gave me consent the next day, and then she didn't give me consent. So obviously, like, I know.
No, I wasn't. I don't know. I do have to be honest here. I doubt that he knew the severity of what happened, but when he received the text message of her 6 months ago, he definitely knew.
Stopping you right there. I know for a fact, I will say this because I've always said truth, because I know I could get sued if I didn't say the truth. This is the truth. People can back me up that we're there. David asked Jason to go buy the girls alcohol. David never puts anything on his credit card ever, not even dinner, nothing. He asked Jason to do it. This is when I said to Jason, don't you freaking do that. What the hell? These girls are saying no, whatever. And he did ask people to buy alcohol for girls. Why else would you buy alcohol for girls when you're trying to have them have sex with your friend if it's not for them to have sex with your friend? Like, he knew the severity of it. Like, he knew, like, how, unless they're just so stupid and think that's how everybody does, everyone just gets girls drunk to have sex with them. Like, I don't know, like, if it was there. Jeff said that alcohol was there. Jeff said alcohol was
I guess what I mean is he didn't know that, like, the extent to which the assault took place behind closed doors.
That's bullshit too, because they saw them having sex. Oh, I don't care what Jeff says. Oh, we acted it out. David corroborated it 2 days later, saying, "Yeah, it didn't happen unless we saw." Like, they don't do that. Like, they don't fake things in the vlog like that. People. He was in ours, hearing us have sex. Like, he doesn't have boundaries like that. Like, he saw it, he knew it. The girls were drunk, and that is considered the R word.
You're right. If
maybe
what you're
not a violent R word or whatever,
no.
but it's
well, come on. We don't even need to mince.
No, but what I'm
hairs
saying,
on that.
I think he doesn't think it's an R word thing unless it's like violent. A lot of guys don't think that. They think unless the girl has bruises on her, then no. This is also when you don't get consent because you're incoherent. That's also the R word, and he knows that. He's filmed so many people drunk, including me, including things like that. You can't consent to a clip, and they can't consent later. That's not consent. If they didn't consent to you filming them and knowing that, of course they're later on gonna be like, I guess put it in, whatever. I've said that before.
He says, "Oh, I asked her for consent the next day." It's like, bro, you're supposed to ask for consent when she arrives.
Not how it works. And once, it's just so frustrating.
So, but I think what you're alleging is that he asked people to get alcohol for the girls. Then that makes him like pretty much fully guilty.
Fully guilty of knowing what's happening. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
By him. As it was reported the next day, I got consent to post the video, even though I got the consent to post that video.
So, by the way, what he's doing is basically still leaving it all on Dom by saying, this is something that happened with Dom. We got consent the next day. But he's skipping over really the horrible allegations, which is that someone went and got alcohol under his direction.
Yeah. I also should know that I know this for a fact. When filming drunk people, right? Like, you have to say, like, let's say, like, okay, so, like, obviously reality shows and stuff like that, they sign something that says, like, we're going to be consuming alcohol, you can film us, okay? They sign that, right? Okay, now, I was in a situation where I was on this porn set, I was just an extra, I wasn't in the porn. It was called Horny Birds or something like that. I was in the porn. They gave all of us alcohol, including my sister, who was under the age of 21. At the end of it, they all, before we got paid, they had to say, okay, say you had no alcohol, no drugs during the filming of this. Like, you have to have them say that in order for them to consent, which was such a lie, and I told my sister we could sue them because you're underage, because it was such a bad experience, but it was like a lie, and we did it because we wanted to get paid or whatever, but like, I'm sure he didn't have that footage of them saying like, yep, I didn't have alcohol. Like, if you film someone drunk, which he did with these girls, like, you have to have the consent of them saying, either prior saying we're going to be drunk and you're going to film us, or after saying we didn't drink or do. I know this, like, it's happened to be in
you're right.
situations.
Consent and NDAs and consent forms are really tricky legally, because if you can prove that it was like a coerced permission, like the girl says in the Inside article that she was still drunk when she woke up and didn't even remember what happened.
Yeah.
Right? So
you can't give consent then the next day either.
And by the way, NDAs don't hold water if something illegal happens too.
Oh my God, yeah, I hate that too. It's like, you can, if something's the truth and it's like a crime, if you were assaulted or whatever, like, you can say it.
I should have never posted it. And what I understand now, and I didn't understand before.
But again, like, you received the text message from Hannah 6 months later and then removed it. I guess that makes sense.
It was when I did my video. She had said to Dom, like, I saw Trisha's video and like, I don't feel comfortable having my stuff out there. Like, it was when I did mine that same time when I linked up the group.
Is that she sent that text because she felt like she had to, not because she wanted to. And that's fucked up. And I'm sorry. When she
that's good. It's good to hear. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to give him, points where he can get them.
I just wish this, like, would have waited. It just all seems so, like, if this was how he feels in like 6 months or whatever, like, he should have made this video. It's just like it's like, you didn't feel this way. You tried to not even have the article come out. So it's like,
he should have, if he put this video out instead of his first apology and wasn't spending all of his time trying to keep the article from coming out and attacking everyone, then we'd probably be looking at this with a lot different perspective.
Just basically before the sponsorships pulled out, like,
yeah,
and he probably could have saved himself, like,
because he was desperate. I think he was avoiding it desperately because he suspected that a lot of sponsors would pull out if he acknowledged it happens. So now he has nothing to lose, right?
Later reached out a couple months later to take the video down. I immediately took it down, and I want to apologize to her and her friends for ever putting them in an environment that I enabled that made them feel like their safety and values were compromised. I'm so sorry. I was completely disconnected from the fact that when people were invited to film videos with us, especially videos that relied on shock for views or whatever it was, that I was creating an unfair power dynamic. I did not know this before. It was.
You're saying, I mean, and I agree that that's kind of like a little naive. Like, he knew.
He loved having power over people that way. He would just throw money at people. I mean, he does this with his friends, with strangers. Like, and you're gross.
Wait, let me go back, because I remember I wanted to say something about it.
And I want to apologize to her and her friends for ever putting them in an environment that I enabled that made them feel like their safety and values were compromised.
I mean, that's good. He's admitting that he enabled that situation.
He's saying, okay.
Which is good, but I think people are glossing over what it really means is that he enabled this attack to happen, right?
Yeah, like, I think he could provide them with compensation or something. This guy's got money. Obviously money speaks for him. Once his money was taken away, that's when he knew some shit went down. And it helps so many people, especially people like Seth, who was like struggling with his like casting company and like these girls
he's still not mentioning Seth.
Right. Okay. So these girls in particular, like, not that they're asking for money or something like that, but at least like compensate them for some trauma or something like that. You profited off of them. Give them some of that money or something. You know, like they're college girls or whatever. It's like, and they're not getting any money off this. But you can, I think that's, I know that's like admitting guilt or whatever. But like for me, I always
he just
like,
admit guilt.
So then, you know,
that was good though. He said he did say that I enabled the situation. That was good.
I'm so sorry. I was completely disconnected from the fact that when people were invited to film videos with us, especially videos that relied on shock for views or whatever it was, that I was creating an unfair power dynamic. I did not know this before. It was completely wrong, and I wish I was more responsible, and I wish I was more aware at the time, and I'm so sorry I missed that. I didn't know what was going on in that room, and I should have been. I should have been there, and I should have been making sure that everybody involved was taken care of and wasn't uncomfortable.
I think he kind of missed the point there by saying, I should have been in the room. It's like, no, you shouldn't have put Dom, who you already knew was a predator, right, after the VidCon thing. You shouldn't, is something that you continue to do, is put girls in a position to be assaulted by your friend.
Yeah, when he platforms Dom, they want to meet you, David. They want to be in David's vlogs. That's what all these girls' messages say. They want to meet David. Even on TikTok, I see all these girls saying, "Oh, he said I could meet David if I came to the apartment." Like, you're giving him this platform because you're showcasing the girls that come home with Dom, and it's gross. You enabled all of it multiple times. It's not one, twice, two. It's like so many times.
But he is saying something good in that he's saying I'm responsible for what happens there, which is right.
I don't want to use buzzwords to try to justify this or explain this, but all I can say is people felt like they had to be silent for the sake of my video, and that's not right, and it's fucked up, and I'm sorry. I also want to acknowledge the women that spoke out against Dom in 2018. I'm talking about Allie, and then I'm talking about other girls that addressed their problems privately.
Which other girls privately?
I don't
he
know.
goes, Allie and all the other girls that expressed their concerns privately. Like, holy shit, bro.
I mean, I like that he's saying people's names. I think that's...
Dude, they did that girl, Allie, so fucking dirty.
Oh, yeah, I stuck up for her a while ago, too. Yeah.
Dirty.
It was awful. And then the fact that they kept, like, showing...
she actually made a statement. Here, I'll read it. I have it.
Yeah, she don't accept his apology either. Is he apologizing to her? I don't even know if he did. He didn't apologize to me. I never gave you consent for anything. I told him too. And don't act like you don't know.
Here she said. So this is the girl who was groped by Dom at VidCon in 2000. Oh yeah, she got the year wrong too. I was like, I thought that was 2017. And then Dom was like, basically was like, she's kind of lying, but anyway, I'm sorry. And David left the famous comment saying, hey, good job, buddy. It's easy to be an idiot.
No,
it's hard to apologize.
He goes, that's kind of not the truth, but it is the truth.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
So anyway, she just tweeted this in response to David's apology to her. She said, friendly reminder that my Dom video was in 2017, not 2018. Don't know if this was an honest mistake or trying to shorten the amount of time he continued to platform him afterwards. I have mixed feelings on David Dobrik's apology, and am sus because Dom lied in his 4 years ago to say whatever would look nice for the camera and never privately reach out to anyone, even though he said he did it for PR. I hope David will handle things differently. Okay, let's watch.
Privately or publicly, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you guys. I am sorry that I took Dom's word for what happened in those certain situations, and I didn't believe you. And not only did I not believe you, but I made a joke of what kind of a person Dom was, because I couldn't wrap my head around a childhood friend of mine doing this to people and actually hurting people, and I'm sorry for that.
So at which point between the 2007 VidCon video and the scores of other women that reached out to you privately did you refuse to believe that your childhood friend was capable of doing that?
Wow.
I want to apologize to the thousands of women who have reached out to me privately.
I think David's just disappointed.
Not mad.
Not mad, just
never mad.
Not only did I discredit you, Allie, but I platformed Dom. And not only did I platform Dom, but I platformed the subject of sex in a negative way, where I made jokes about it, and I reinforced that kind of behavior. And I'm so sorry, and I really let not only you down, but a lot of people down, a lot of people that watch me. And
I mean, again, you could say too late, too little, too late, but I think he makes a good point because I think what's really damaging is how he normalized Dom as like, hey, just your friendly neighborhood predator. And like this kind of shit that they regularly portrayed as like just fun-loving shit is basically just grooming an entire generation of kids.
He couldn't give this comment to the Insider when this article came out, like, hey, I'm really sorry this happened, rather that his lawyer said, don't put him in the article, otherwise we're going to threaten to sue you.
I agree.
Like, I don't, it's so not real.
The timing casts a very cynical light on the entire video.
I don't buy it at all. If this was last week, maybe, because, yeah, maybe he hasn't posted vlogs, like, things change, but no.
I made the decision to no longer film with Dom in 2019, and I'm not saying my content has been brilliant since then, but that's when I first started taking into account the power dynamic. And
he says he stopped filming with Dom in 2019. Cut to this one was pretty disturbing. This video was on Dom's channel as recently as last night. We ripped it because I knew that they were going to take this down, but it was up.
Wait, what did they take down?
This video, but it was up since this morning or last night. So he says that he discontinued his relationship with Dom in 2019. But here he is in March of 20. Oh, this is unavailable because I have the backup, of course. Of course, we have the backup. Now, this video.
You deleted this last night?
What's going on? Just last night. This was uploaded, which I'll show you the proof here. What were we going to say?
I was like, do I have any breaking news? No.
Yeah, that's a good question. So this was called Epic Vlog Squad Party, March 2020.
Like 10 days before the pandemic hit.
And not only that, the context of the video makes it even worse. Watch this.
Y'all, Dirty Dom here. I got a huge announcement for y'all. I'm officially going on tour, the Dirty and Dangerous Tour. First stop is USC Kappa Sig. We're about to tear it up tonight, guys. Comment down below what college you're in.
So he's promoting his, I don't know what, he's like going and throwing parties, which is basically his S8 World Tour party.
I totally
forgot. Kappa Sigma, I'm assuming it's like a frat party too.
Now, once again, a reminder, David, who severed ties with Dom because he knew he was such a danger to society, made a video promoting Dom's World Essay Tour, College Campus Essay Tour, in March of 2020. Mm-hmm. Okay?
And they deleted that video this morning?
They deleted it this morning or last night.
Wow.
With peace and love.
Oops.
Oops.
And what influence I had on people that I was filming
Let me
with.
back that up just so you now can look at it with the proper context.
Not only you down, but a lot of people down. A lot of people that watch me and my friends and family for that. I made the decision to no longer film with Dom in 2019. And I'm not saying my content has been brilliant since then. But that's when I...
What?
Kind of lawyerese there. He made the decision not to film with Dom. He's not filming with Dom.
I
know. I'm just saying, like...
Dude, it's even worse. He's going to his event and helping him promote it.
Right.
Started taking
After
into
the pizza
account the power dynamic and what influence I had on people that I was filming with. But what I didn't do is I didn't go back to any of these women and apologize. I kind of moved on and I learned from it and I grew from it, but I didn't address the situation with these women. I'm not talking publicly, I'm saying even privately. I didn't reach out to any of these people, and that breaks my heart knowing that I was doing all this stuff and I was making all this content while...
Well, not only did he not reach out, and many times, like you and Seth, he threatened and...
Right. Or even to these girls, you know, like, why didn't you reach out before you made this video?
I wonder if he saw Dom's epic response to that text from Hannah. Okay.
I'm sure he did. They share everything with each other. I'm sure he did.
Okay.
There was people that were still really hurt by what I made before my content shifted to be more responsive.
He gave a little tears.
Started and then...
But he cut it away so it didn't feel too much. I thought that was a really good... In terms of the apology, like, technique.
It was a good edit.
He teased the tears, but he didn't full out cry. Powerful. I felt that was a powerful artistic decision.
Look how, like, he's just so soulless. He has no empathy for anyone. He doesn't feel bad about any of this. Like, you could just tell in his eyes. If you have to force them, like, that is not real.
I do think he feels bad now.
I don't think he does. I really don't. I really think I know he doesn't. Especially in my situation, he has no guilt, no remorse. I guarantee you.
these people, and that breaks my heart knowing that I was doing all this stuff and I was making all this content while there was people that were still really hurt by what I made before my content shifted to be more responsible and positive. I said and did things that were really offensive, and I called them bad jokes, and I can't even call them bad jokes, and it was cowardly of me to say. My content shifted to be more responsible and positive. I said and did things.
You agree? I remember you saying that his content has been better of recent.
Because the pandemic hit and he couldn't vlog anything. So yes, his content has been better because he hasn't been posting vlogs.
Things that were really offensive, and I called them bad jokes, and I can't even call them bad jokes, and it was cowardly of me to say in my last apology that I missed the mark, because it's fucking gross, and I'm sorry.
That's pretty good.
I feel like he's been watching us because I keep calling him gross. I think he's like, yeah, I was gross. I've never heard David
that's
say
good.
that.
I mean, he said it was cowardly of me to say I missed the mark. That was gross, and I think that's well stated.
I believe I also called him a coward and gross. So thank you for listening, for being an avid listener.
You've been such an influence on him with the floor, between sitting on the floor, and I thought that was a good.
Next time, just not as many edits.
No more cuts.
Fire now.
People reached out to me saying cancel culture is bullshit and you need to fight back and you need to call people out, and I don't agree with how this should be taken at all.
I wasn't sure why he said that. Because he's like, so many people think that all this is bullshit.
Right. Kind of being like,
and I did too until yesterday.
Until like everyone pulled out and I had to quit my own app. Yeah.
Probably not the best thing to include in there, but I will say that is a sentiment that his fans were expressing a lot all over social media. So.
That's good. I think that's good. That's a way of trying to like speak to his own fans.
Yeah, that's true, because they kept harassing Seth and me and just everyone being like, you're upset. Like,
because the stan culture is just like so I guess that's a props moment today.
How would he fight back though? Like, it's also just so a moot point, because like, what are you gonna do to defend yourself?
He did try and fight back. He failed.
Yeah, his only defense was discrediting me and saying Trisha's crazy.
But it's good
what other defense did he have? Oh, Seth. Oh, look, Seth wanted to be. You gross.
You're right. Good that he's speaking directly to his fans in this regard and saying this is not the right reaction. So props to David.
I think when there is a crisis, there's a serious opportunity to correct yourself, to learn and improve, and to make sure those mistakes don't happen again. And that's why it's so important to hold yourself accountable. And I think with this situation...
Unrelated? Why are you laughing, Dan?
Just a comment.
There's a lot
What would the comment say?
Yeah, read the comment.
It said that Keemstar texted him that.
Keemstar texted
Oh, yeah,
what?
Keemstar. Yeah, that's who I thought, too.
What?
Keemstar, when this originally started happening, Keemstar tweeted David, don't let Ethan win. He's like, don't give in. I support you, and don't let Ethan win. I was like, okay, dude. Change his tune now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keemstar.
Hey, but that alone should say so much of how awful all these people are. If like Keemstar is coming around and like Philip DeFranco and all these people, it's like, oh, okay, they're like.
Philip DeFranco usually has the right take. All right, let's finish this apology for Christ's sake.
Look at, and there's a lot I can learn from, but there's a lot of mistakes that I made, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for everybody I've let down. I'm sorry to my family, and I'm sorry to my friends that I've embarrassed, and that this won't happen again. I'm going to take a short break from all the social media stuff because I realize there's a serious lack of infrastructure when I make any kind of content, and I want to be able to have a place of checks and balances. I want to have HR, and I want to be able to have people communicate discomfort.
Kind of.
Really? I have a complaint.
You do?
No.
I was like, oh, shit. I was like, no, I don't have HR then in that case. This is a good thing he's saying, because I think one of the biggest problems with his vlogs, as we said, is like when you are dealing with big production shoots on big professional shoots, you have the checks and balances. You have the safety people. You have the lawyers.
Well, clearly the safety people aren't there. Jeff's eye. Jonah also had a motorcycle accident going over a pool a year before I joined the group, and he like cracked his head open and went to the hospital and kept that hush hush too. Like, get a safety person, guy. Like, you have the money.
This is a really important thing. You can't continue the way you're doing and the stuff you're doing without having oversight and checks and balances. So that's a good thing he acknowledges.
in a way that's comfortable.
Too late for Jeff, unfortunately, if what you're saying is true.
I hope he covered Jeff's
To
bill
them.
or whoever did. I hope.
You better be getting a fat fucking settlement.
Because, like, honestly, I do feel like Jeff, he said he was on medication. Like, I feel like there is something maybe wrong with him.
I feel horrible for the injury, Jeff.
But
What happened to him?
permanently? I think there's maybe something, because that's a different Jeff. Like, you know, from the videos, from what I knew, like, it's a very different Jeff. Like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not saying, like, brain damage. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, it's a different, he's a different
Well,
way of
he definitely took a hardcore injury, that's for sure. But let's not speculate about Jeff's injuries and let's finish this video.
And where they don't feel like their emotions or what they're doing or how they're acting is compromised. It doesn't feel right to go back to posting like I have been, and it also doesn't feel right to go dark because I love what I do. But I think it is important to show that change is possible and that I'm learning. Maybe even forgiveness is possible. I want to use this opportunity to step up and own my mistakes. And like I said before, I've never done apology the right way. And I'm sure I'm going to look back at this and I'm going to be pissed at some things that I didn't say or I wish I could have added more. But this is my beginning to that, and I'm sorry for everybody that I hurt. I also want to add that I'm making myself available to anyone that wants to reach out that I've hurt in the past.
Yeah, I love that. I got lots of time. I will no longer be blocking your numbers. Go ahead and reach out to me.
I'm so curious. Should I try and call him, see if he answers?
Call him right now live.
Not live.
That'd be fucking crazy. No, don't do that.
But should I try and call him? He said
Well,
he'd
I
make
wanted
himself
to ask,
available.
would you talk to him?
No, I wouldn't.
So why would you call him?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Just to see if he did make himself available for
I
me.
feel like you could have a productive conversation. with
Absolutely
him,
not.
Because you have a lot of trauma and you hold a lot of resentment that I wonder if you would be able to resolve.
Yeah, it's a
by
lot
talking
of
to
it's a
him.
lot of trauma that I dealt with through therapy, and I was able to resolve it through myself. And there's no resolution I'm going to get from David losing sponsors and now being like,
But
I'm sorry, just like Jason calling me. No,
Maybe you
I begged
could-
them to talk to me for a year and a half. I begged them. I showed up to Jason's house. I made videos saying, please, I'm so sorry I did this to the group. None of them acknowledging me. Jason constantly telling me, oh, no one's can acknowledge you. No one's allowed to talk to you. Like they mocked me when I was at Coachella. Todd was pissed trying to knock the door down, saying I'm going to like kick her ass. Like all this crazy shit. Like they mocked me and ridiculed me for years when I was going through like the worst year of my life. Like I've never once tried to kill myself. I never once tried to go to a mental hospital, and it spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. And they kept triggering it. And it was such bullshit. It was such bullshit, and this is bullshit because he's losing sponsors. And you know what? I will say it. I'm happy that he is, because it's so fucking annoying having to deal with someone who gets away with shit, and he's so no remorse. I tried reaching out to him for a year and a half. There's zero remorse. I do not believe he's changed in a week from him trying to discredit me because I have a mental illness. I think he's full of shit. I think he's just the worst, and I think he lost money, and that's the only reason he's crying. That's why I'm saying donate money to show that you don't care about money, that it wasn't just about the sponsors leaving. Donate it. You have the money. Donate it some. Put it towards mental health. Put it towards Jeff Woodick said that too. Oh, people with mental illness shouldn't be given a platform to speak. Like, fuck off. Donate your shit. Get educated. Learn about that shit. I think you have a mental illness. You have something wrong with you. Look at that face. You're soulless behind those eyes.
Come on.
He's a soulless little chipmunk, and I don't like him.
A soulless little chipmunk?
Okay, that was me, not the chipmunk. The soulless part, though.
All right,
Don't
let's
fix the camera.
Okay, we're almost done.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
I want to be able to hear and understand from yourselves, and I'll be reaching out on my own to some people because I still have a lot of learning to do. And I think when you talk to other people, especially about experiences like this, it
Hold on. Let's focus on the video. Let's eat it upstairs. I don't want to do a whole mukbang.
Okay.
Let's stay focused. The pizza.
Maybe one mukbang at the end to celebrate.
It got me
one
like
piece of-
it's got me like David apologizing.
Okay, yeah, let's focus. But can we have one at the end so people can see
Okay,
it?
okay.
They get so butthurt when we don't show them the food at the end. Everyone's like, why didn't you film? Because we were going to, last time, okay?
Okay.
people.
All right, everyone focusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I still have a lot of learning to do, and I think when you talk to other people, especially about experiences like this, it really helps you see things in a different way. But yeah, I'm sorry if this video was all over the place. I just wanted to sit and talk and ramble, and I really truly hope that someone can take something away from this experience, that another creator can take away from this. And I know it feels, because I know how crazy it felt to me, that there was some sort of toxicity or some sort of power dynamic in my friend group. But really just take the moment, especially when creating content that you're trying to get viewership out of, or you're trying to get laughs out of, like really take a moment and look at where the jokes end and where the feelings begin, because I think that's so incredibly important. Okay.
He acts like it's some kind of like large issue happening on YouTube. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's not.
you,
It's pretty much
David.
just you, David.
If another creator can learn, like nobody else is doing this. Like,
Look, I do think there's some part of him. It's like when you lose everything, then I feel like it's like a rock bottom situation. It's
Yeah.
like then you can actually see things clear for what it is. So I do think there is some genuine remorse here, even though the timing and everything makes it all super suspicious. But it's like it's that rock bottom, nothing to lose, and then he's like, oh fuck, you know.
right? He was like untouchable for so long. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's genuine. I think he's thinking like, oh, I should probably like reevaluate. But I don't know.
Should I?